Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Fear stepping back into the market with Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously present on the fear and greed index, neutral to fear for Bitcoin at 43, and Ethereum sitting in fear at 36. So I think this is a great time to be dollar cost averaging into Ethereum during times like this where there is fear. 36 on the fear and greed index, usually always a great time to get into crypto when it is at the fear stage. Bitcoin neutral, so maybe there's still some downside for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin and the crypto markets are looking really interesting and looking kind of bullish. So on Friday, we spoke about the 50% of the wick, and we actually spoke about 50% of the wick the whole week yesterday. So obviously Monday, we had that massive move to the downside, and that left us with the 50% wick fill. And basically what I was saying was we're probably going to get the 50% wick fill, which looks like, it kind of got front run yesterday if we are being perfect. But yeah, this is basically a 50% wick fill. It happened with Ethereum as well. So we're going to go into Ethereum after this. But the 50% wick fill is there. So this is probably, that point where we do see some relief. And I do see Bitcoin having a push up today. So the level to get above for Bitcoin is the 50-day EMA, and that's coming in at 98,400. So I can see a push up today or tomorrow into this, and then we're going to have to see, are we going to reject off here and come down again, or are we going to break through and test it as support, just like that? The Friday's price action was also super strange after NFP, but Bitcoin came perfectly into our level, which we are going to go to on the 4-hour chart and here, and came into the buy box. So happy about that movement. We did nail that. But what I am looking out for this is there is the 50% wick fill of that Friday candle coming in at 98,300. So definitely mark this level off on the chart. And that lines up with the 50-day EMA. And it also lines up with the liquidity on the lower term timeframes on High Block Capital. And that's coming in at 98,400 level over here. So there is liquidity over there. And what you can see is that with Bitcoin over here next to my face, most participants are short at the moment, which means that we are favoring a move to the upside and most likely a move to that 98, 99K region over there. And if we look at the liquidity, if we do get further bullish price action, we do have liquidity forming at 100K, and then at 110K on the higher term time frame, there is liquidity, but also to the downside, but there is more on the upside. So we can see a bit of a push to the upside for sure, and definitely mark off those levels off on your chart over here. So the reason why I think we could get some upside pressure is, one, to get the 50% of the wick, and two, it's what I call bullish absorption. So daily closes and daily candles at a similar price, and every time price comes low, it just gets bought up. A nice liquidity sweep. There would have been longs built with stops at that 95.5 region over there, obviously taking all the liquidity. And this is a great time to be getting into Bitcoin, is when you do see something like this. We did also break yesterday's high. So I think we're going to have to wait and see how it reacts when it comes into that 98,300 level over here. And then we can be getting long or not on Bitcoin. The ultimate breakout for Bitcoin, or ultimate scenario, would be a push and a chop at this level over here. Then we do get above this downsloping or declining resistance. And then once we do see that happen, then I think this will be a nice place to get into Bitcoin for that next leg higher. But let's wait and see. Bitcoin does have to get above 100,560 region over here. If we can start consolidating over here, then I think upside is definitely targeted, because there is fear in the market, guys. There is fear in the market, especially with Ethereum. So let's get straight into Ethereum right now. Ethereum really struggling, of course, but I think price is being held down by bigger players to be able to accumulate more. This thing has to break out at some point. A lot of people think it's all over, but I am accumulating Ethereum over here. And it did also come into our buy box over here. This was the 50% wick fill. Again, not perfect. It might have just been front run over here. But Ethereum is looking interesting. And the breakout level for Ethereum is, I think if we can get above this 2,900, we could see a push into the 3,100, chop around here. and then ultimately it does need to get above this declining resistance, which is very similar to Bitcoin. But I'm looking at this level to hold, but definitely mark off 2,480. If we do get further downside at the start of this week, then we could see that level being tagged. Also, a lot of people short on Ethereum as well, with liquidity stacked to the upside. So we could see a push, very likely that we do see a push to the upside for Ethereum. Solana looking very interesting. I just took a long position on Solana. There's a clear daily breakout over here. You can see down sloping resistance over there. And today we are breaking out. I would like to see a daily level above 207, which was yesterday's high. So if we can break that out, that might be confirming it. But I think this trade is on, guys, for sure. Stops would just be below all these lows over here at about 187, 186 region over here. And this is very likely to float up to the upside because we do have that breakout. And your first TP would be this 222 level, obviously massive resistance if we do look left. This is where you'd be taking a little bit off the table, moving your stop loss to break even, and then we do potentially see those higher targets for Solana. XRP also looking interesting, bit of a little breakout there. It's on the 4-hour time frame. We can zoom into that later. But yeah, potentially forming a higher low. You can see that we haven't even come too deep on this wick yet. Let me draw that again. Meaning that there are quite a lot of bulls buying this, of course. And I think, you know, what happened with XRP, just this frustrating sideways range, could be happening to XRP, and you could see a bigger move. But the 50% of that daily wick does come at $2.16. So if you guys are looking for the perfect entry on XRP, it could be this $2.16 if we do see further movement to the downside. But this test over here was the perfect entry. I didn't get into this. It happened very fast, of course. Came down perfectly to the 50% level and got bought up quite nicely. So that's for XRP. Bitcoin dominance. This is actually looking bullish, guys. We can't really be bearish on this. It is consolidating above the cycle highs over here. Obviously, we broke above there last week, and we did test it as support yesterday. So I would like to see, you know, a deviation. There is a fair value gap over here. You can see the fair value gap over there. 3 big green candles in a row. So we are likely to come and fill this level. So we could see the crypto market having a pump. And this would be looking quite good if we do come and fill the fair value gap and come and start to reject off this and start to form price action like this. Then this would be seen as one big deviation back into the range, and then we could see, you know, altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. But we're gonna have to wait and see. First of all, it has to come down to the region and get the resistance. First, we need to see this and start to see some resistance over here, and then break this down slope. So this upsloping support, and that would be your sign that altcoins might be running. USDT dominance, very similar to Bitcoin dominance, also breaking out of the range and forming, you know, some kind of support. Bears, crypto bears are stepping in over here, but we are getting rejected off the 200-day EMA. So this could be a little top, and very similar to Bitcoin dominance, we could see a deviation back into the range and then roll over, which would obviously cause the crypto markets to move to the upside, and we could hit those much higher liquidity levels that we were looking at on the high block capital. Total crypto markets still bullish. We were looking for, this is what we called on, I think last Wednesday or something like that, was for the total crypto market obviously to come and fill 50% of that wick and basically just get some downward price action, start forming some high lows. And this is kind of playing out to perfection. We have been getting into some altcoins, spot mainly, and we are starting to build some small leverage longs over here. But we could see some further downside. Of course, there is CPI. There's Fed Chair Powell testifies on Tuesday, and some CPI data on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday, etc. So there is some space for volatility and some, you know, news events causing volatility, and that could be if it is a bearish news announcement and the market does react bearish, then we can see the 50% be tested. But for now, this is playing ball to perfection. And you normally do, after a big buy up wick, you do see price come dwindle down, and this does start to scare the weak hands out, that think that price is going to come down. But basically, the bulls are stepping in over here. There is buying over here, but we could come and see 3 trillion. So definitely save some ammo for 3 trillion. But for now, what we want to start seeing is some breaks of this like 3.22 trillion, form some higher lows, and that will give us a lot more confidence. And as soon as we get above 3.27 trillion and start to close daily and weekly candles above that level, it will be looking good for crypto, guys. It will be looking good for crypto. Total 3 obviously looking a little bit weaker. Total 3 desperately needs to get above this 950 billion. So that's the 50% level from the highs created at the start of December to the lows created last week Monday. That 50% comes in at 950 billion. So what we want to see is price to push up, start to close candles above there, testing this as support, and then we can see a move to the upside. But a lot of resistance will be coming in over here. Of course, it's the 50% level, and we are testing it from the downside up. So you must expect this to be resistance. Also, the 50-day EMA is over there. So if you are looking to, de-risk your portfolio, this is where you should be doing it. Not here, guys. This is not where we should be de-risking. Over here is where we are de-risking. So you just got to be patient, and that would be a nice little relief rally over here. 10%, not too bad. But 50% of the wick still stands. This is also a little bit stronger. This isn't drawing too well today. There we go. So if price does come into this, 820, 815 level over here, this should be massive support and buying opportunities. And this would be a nice little trade. If you are swing trading or scalp trading, this push up will be a good move. Others struggling, ultimately this is bearish. So basically anything out of the top 10, this is what it is. Not looking good, guys. Stuck with the 50% level, and we do need to see a massive push up over here. This would also provide a nice little relief rally if we do come into that. 20% on your shitcoins, guys. That's what it is. Stuck below the 200 and the 50-day EMA. I don't like being below the 200-day EMA, and you guys know that. But the red is still above the blue, so we can see, this start to form price action like that, and we'll have to wait and see, guys. Quarter 1 is normally bullish for altcoins, and the quarter is not over. Of course, the quarter is not over. What else have we look at? So I've basically covered the main cryptos. Can I have a look at Ondo? I'm bullish on Ondo, of course. And ultimately, this is just ranging. I do want to see Ondo get above and start to close candles above this 152 region over here. That's the level that I want to start getting above. I have been accumulating Ondo in this period over here. I do see it as a fundamentally strong project, and I have been piling into fundamentally strong coins over there. But yeah, a little bit of relief today. Sui, so look at Sui. So Sui, obviously massive move to the downside, but it is starting to form a base at the 50% level over here. So what you can expect for Sui is a little bit more chop in this region over here before potentially, this could be the next higher low in the making. Where's my pen over here? Another higher low over here. And then we can see higher prices for Sui. So I do think this is a good time to be accumulating. It's come down bang on to the 50% level. 200-day EMA also in this area. So this is a good place or support. This is definitely support for Sui. And I think in a few months' time, we will see this at those higher levels. Okay. So obviously, fear in the market. That's why we are getting into crypto at the moment. But let's get into the traditional markets, because that's what we do on Mondays. So the DXY in the weaker half of the range created obviously the highs over here at 110 to the lows over there at 107. 50% level comes in 108.5, and we are below that, putting the dollar or the DXY in a weaker half. Okay, So what you can expect is this to be resistance, and what the bulls want to see is this to roll over and do something like that. And if Trump continues with these tariffs, then that is definitely possible. Just because obviously counter trading the news and whatnot. But you can see this got sold off quite wickedly. We could come and push up to this 109 level over here before rolling over. But we do want to see this roll over, guys. Get below that 107 region, and then it would look like a nice deviation if we do zoom out. Of course, these would be the range highs over here, and we want to see price roll over, start to close candles below here, and then roll over further. That is for the DXY. S&P 500 still bullish. Obviously a bit of a bearish close on Friday. If we look at the normal one, big red candle to the downside. But this is looking like a bit of a bull flag actually. So I would expect this to move to the upside. The futures, up a little bit today, bounce off the 50-day EMA. Guys, a bounce off the 50-day EMA. Of course, we're going to bounce off here. So yeah, this is closer to all-time highs than not. It is above, most of the points of invalidation, and this is the recent move up. And we are well above that 5,986, and that is the first level to lose. So if price does roll over today, then this would be your first sign of weakness that we could be seeing S&P roll over. But we still have to close candles below there. We haven't closed candles below there since we had that push up. So definitely in a strong position, the S&P 500. NASDAQ quite similar, obviously making a bit of a lower high relative to the S&P, but still in this grind sideways period, and we can draw this declining resistance over here, and this is the level to break. So if we can break Friday's high and close above Friday's high, then I think onwards and upwards for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and that should carry crypto with it, of course. The VIX volatility index finding some support over here. We do want to see the VIX start to close candles below 14-15 level, and this yellow period where we are below over here, this is where your big moves in the stock market come when we are grinding low on the VIX. So I'm going to cover the Coinbase and MicroStrategy, because Coinbase is actually holding up quite well, guys. It is holding up relatively well, and this could be a precursor, for crypto to also, be holding up. Obviously, Coinbase stock over here, we are above that key 248 level. That's obviously the 50% from that low created in September to the highs at the start of December. And we do have earnings coming out soon. Earnings are on Thursday for Coinbase. So, we could see a big move. It looks like it is coiling up for a big move. We are below the 50-day EMA, but we have been chopping in this area. And this is your buy zone for Coinbase. If we do see, a bearish news announcement on Thursday, then, this is your big buy zone for Coinbase. But this is holding up relatively well. So we do want to see this make all-time highs, and that should be a precursor for the crypto market. MicroStrategy, of course, not looking as good as Bitcoin, but we are still above the 50% level at $322. So this would be your buy zone again. We don't really want to lose this levels, because we could come down and test the 200-day EMA, and that could bring the crypto market down. But for now, it is holding up. We do want to see these highs get broken, putting MicroStrategy in a more bullish market structure, something like that. But these lows are holding. We are forming higher lows. So let's wait and see for MicroStrategy, of course, guys. Okay, let's go into Bitcoin on the 4-hour quickly, because it is looking like we are, getting a little push up here. This was the declining resistance that we got a fake out of. And it looks like we are starting to clear some levels. We have broken that weekend high over here. And this box here was between the 50 and 200 EMAs on the 4-hour time frame. I was expecting this to be resistance, and we came back and just got smashed down, of course. And this was our buy zone between 94 and 95K that we mentioned on Friday. I didn't get into this. We were here on the weekend. But yeah, ultimately limit orders should have been set here. But, you win some, you lose some. But it looks like we are starting to form some kind of breakouts, and looking at the liquidity levels on high block and whatnot, I think we could see a push up here for sure. I have taken that Solana long, which you guys know about. But it would be great to see Bitcoin get above the EMAs and above that 100,500 level over here, test that as support. Then crypto would be looking really good for a move to the upside. But basically, those are the levels to clear. But it looks like we are getting a bit of a push for Bitcoin here. ETH, quite similar, of course. I do want to see a breakout of this downsloping resistance. So I'm going to sit on my hands for Ethereum. I think buying in this level for long-term spot is good. But I do want to see a break of the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame and this downsloping resistance. Then I think we can see a push up. But have to wait and see for how Bitcoin is going to react. But you can see that buyers are stepping in for Ethereum over there. Okay, let's do a few altcoin requests. Definitely smash the like button, guys. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We do go live at least 3 times a week. Okay, so I've mentioned Sui. Okay, so there's a quick one here. Gala bearish divergence on the 1-hour time frame. So let's go onto the 1-hour time frame. Go find Gala Games. Yeah, it's a bit of a choppy bearish divergence over there. But Gala Games, you know, there's a potential long over here. Of course, we have broken out. It looks like we are retesting this. Decent spot over there. And there's quite a bit of upside here. There's obviously this massive gap where there isn't much price action at all. And that would be your target for Gala Games. Bit of a key level over there. And this downsloping support. Something like that. I think we could get a push up here. If Bitcoin continues its move, then I would favor, you know, the breakout over here. RSI is above 56, which is, you know, in the stronger half. So there's a case for a long here. I mean, the risk reward isn't great. You know, point of invalidation below these lows. It would be targeting this, you know, level up here, even this 1.821. I think, you know, you could get an entry in this level over here, and that gives us a more favorable risk reward of 3.5 to 1. So definitely mark this level off on your chart. If Bitcoin does break out, though, of course, guys, we are going to be following Bitcoin for a while here. That's a little trade idea, a little trade setup. And then obviously, you know, we can trade the long side, see how it reacts here. Then we can just trade the short side on altcoins, guys. We can. We definitely can. So liquidations, obviously saw a massive amount of liquidations on Sunday and Monday last week, forming that low for the crypto market, of course, and very likely that that was the low. But let's wait and see. We do have to get above the 100,500 level. That's the level that we do need to clear, guys. Okay, any altcoin requests, guys? Otherwise, we have, you know, covered the mains of the market at the moment. Do you offer any courses? Not yet, guys, not yet. That is in the pipeline at some point, but yeah, not yet, not yet. Okay, let's have a look at some of my favorite altcoins. Then, you know, we can in the stream there. So obviously Sui holding up on the 50% level, the 200-day EMA, and this is looking like a good one to get into. Massive liquidation event, of course, 50% of the wick tested. So this is ticking all the boxes. This is ticking all the boxes. There is obviously a beta play, Sui Pad or Sui P. I'll show you guys that now. Yeah, this is the beta play. And this rips, guys. Whenever Sui goes for a run, this does rip, and it does do incredibly well. So, these are the range lows over here. These are the range highs. So you can just play this level to level. It's quite simple. So, this could come lower into this level over here. Very possible if we do get some more move, 30% to the downside, of course. But it is likely that we would see another push up into this red box over here. The timing looks pretty good as well. Massive move, consolidation. So what we could see is a bit of a chop over here in this level, something like this, little chop for a bit, and then a push up. But I think this is a good level for spot, of course. Your risk reward would be looking something like this. If you accumulate in the middle of this box, stops below these main ones over here, and target the red box, bottom of the red box. Yeah, this is a 6.6 to 1, guys. Decent trade. Of course, if you just bought right now, would be a 5.5 to 1. So you can DCA in this level. Just a little spot position, I think would be decent. It does grind sideways, and then we get an explosive move to the upside. I'm bullish on SUI as well. So this all does kind of make sense and add up. And I think this is a really good trading idea. So to definitely have a look into that. That is for SUI and the SUI beta play. ENS holding up relatively well. I think this is a Ethereum beta play. I'm bullish on Ethereum, of course, long term. But it looks like, this was resistance. We have flipped it as support. It could come down and test it again. But, we are stuck below the important EMAs, of course. But fundamentally, this is a cool project. You guys must look into it, of course, the Ethereum naming service. And yeah, I think, if we can start to clear that $33 level, this can be moving to the upside. Chainlink as well, losing the support, but also holding up relatively well, guys. If your chart is in bullish market structure in a macro point of view, what I mean by that is, we got a high and a higher low, higher high, and it's going to form a higher low. This is crypto, of course. This is what you want to see. You see this in SUI as well, higher highs, of course. ENS, we see that as well, higher highs. Aave, higher highs, of course. An example of not higher highs would be something like Arbitrum. That's one that comes to mind straight away. ARBUSDT over here. Okay, this is just lower highs, guys. Old trading idea there, of course, but basically just lower lows and lower highs, and we just created a new lower low. If your chart is below the lows from August, it's not looking good, guys. This can obviously come to the top of the range or top of this megaphone, but you don't really want to be creating lower lows, because that just means there are more sellers in the market, of course. So I've covered Ondo as well. Aave, ENA, this is struggling, guys, but it is creating a higher low relative to this. So I think this is an amazing place to be buying some spot ENA. This level over here, old resistance becoming new support. We've swept the liquidity over here. This was old trade from the start of last year. And there's a big fair value gap, which I do see being filled, of course, just above that dollar region over there. So I think we can see a push up here. It's about 100% move from here, 130 odd. So a decent trade over there, of course. Uniswap, very similar, higher lows. There's this upsloping support over here, which we are currently finding support on. But we do want to see a nice push up from Uniswap, get above the $12 level, and then A for away. Hyperliquid holding up relatively well as well. This has been making higher lows, even relative to the start of Jan. So that's a bullish sign over there. But yeah, I'm expecting some chop. But yeah, again, this is a new project, range highs, not new, but relatively new. Range highs over here would be the targets, of course. Radium also looking good, really good. I have also bought some Radium, and yeah, very bullish. High, higher high, sideways grind, higher high, higher high. So this is most likely a higher low, and this is a great level to be getting into Radium. This level over here, you can even extend it to there. Good level, and then level to level, guys. Easy trade. Nice little push into this level over here, 30%. And all-time highs, guys, all-time highs. Okay, so look at FET quickly. FET's not looking good, guys, because we have created a lower low. Okay, we just took out this low, and we are consolidating here. Obviously, you know, this is a massive level, of course. So this is support. Can't get bearish at support, but the market structure isn't bullish at all, guys. FET isn't looking good. Near, it's the same, guys. It's the same. So we have taken out the lows here. Tough to get bearish at support, but if we do see a push to the upside, this could be a place to get rid of some tokens, because this is, you know, closer to the lows than the highs. Okay, so let's go for over a few more quickly. Okay, let's go through some of these. Start with Ethereum Classic, ETC. Okay, so that's also old trade idea. So we could see a push up here. This is a very clear level for Ethereum Classic. You can see this level over here. The important EMAs are there as well. And if you take the fib from high to low, that's just above there. So, I mean, I think Ethereum Classic, we could easily see a push into this $25 level. And this is where you would be looking to most likely offload your tokens. We have created a higher low relative to August. So there is bulls and buyers stepping into the market. And we are above this key level over here. You know, this is a massive accumulation range from mid-year, and we are finding support here. So you can see a little push up here. You can see the moves happen quite fast. 225, of course. So yeah, at support, and if you are looking to offload your tokens, $25. TRX, TRX is around here. There we go. Okay, so TRX holding up relatively well. Nice little bounce off the 200-day EMA. And for TRX, we do want to see a, you know, breakout of this price action over here. So that's a better one. Get above the 50-day EMA, but we did get a strong bounce off the 200-day EMA. But we do want to see a push up here, breakout, and then we can be entering in the zone over here for a push higher. But yeah, this is incredibly bizarre price action. Massive wick up and then down. So I think a lot of people got trapped here. So I think we could see a push into this $32, maybe a bit above. But we'll have to wait and see how it reacts. If it does break out, we could be getting above here. But bullish, guys, bullish. If we zoom out, it is bullish, of course. XRP. Bullish, of course, but I think we did speak about the levels earlier. You know, if this does come into the 50% of the wick, this would be your buy zone, $2.16. But guys, bullish, a little bit of a breakout on the 4-hour time frame. Obviously moved across there, but I think we could come into this $2.86. So if we do come into the $2.16 level, which we spoke about, which just stops below here, and we can target all-time highs. Decent trade for XRP. So definitely mark this level off on your chart. It's like $2.15 level. I think this would be a good buy zone for XRP. Let's have a look at XLM. Okay, so we are losing this level over here, but it did have a stellar push up, of course. But we want to see it get above this $36. That's obviously the halfway point from that, you know, parabolic move. Yeah, not too much to report on for this, but I think, you know, anything between the 50% of that wick and the 200-day EMA is probably a good buying opportunity. If you are a XLM bull, you know, you could be buying this level over here, stops below the wick, and we'd be targeting, at least, we'd be targeting this downsloping resistance over there. So that's a 4-to-1 risk reward. So if we do come into this level over here, I'm going to mark it off, then we could be getting into a nice little swing trade over there. Okay, we did look at NEAR earlier, but let's have a look at Render. Render's struggling, but it is at the range low. Yeah, finding support at the range low. I am in a bit of near, very choppy, of course. But I've basically round tripped this twice. I think I bought around this $2-3 over here. You know, big move up, all the way down. Nice move up, all the way down. So just wait and see. We can't get bearish at support though, guys. We can't be bearish on support. Okay. Is it over for Miro and Goat? Have a look. Goat. Yeah, not looking good, guys. Head and shoulders over here, which broke out. And I think the target was 0. Yeah, the target was 0 or below. Yeah, not looking good, guys. Obviously, no utility here or value. So if you are in Miro, I think, or sorry, Goat, we can offload our position going into that 50-day EMA. So I would say focus on fundamentally strong projects, guys. Miro, the same. Yeah, garbage. Absolute garbage. Charts don't lie. And if you do get a push into this level over here, we can be offloading our bags. But this is going to tend to 0. This will tend to 0, as all meme coins do. Okay, do you think there'll be an alt season? Yes, there will most likely be an alt season, because we always get an alt season. We always get an alt season, guys. And right now, people are scared. These are the kind of comments that we get when we could be near a bottom, of course. But we always get an alt season, guys. I know there's this time is different. This time is different. This time is never different. And I'm sure a lot of people were very hesitant about an alt season here as well, and we did end up getting one. So the charts don't lie, guys. Bitcoin dominance, we always trade charts. So the level for Bitcoin dominance is over here. So I'm not sure how long it'll take, if we've got the whole year. There. So I would say Bitcoin dominance at least to 42% at some point, guys. It seems impossible now. It's felt very possible in December last week. It's just the nature of the game, nature of the beast. And let's go back onto the weekly time frame there. And what's quite interesting, guys, you can have a look here. So we are starting to get a bit of high volume in Bitcoin dominance. Let's have a look here. High volume. We are starting that high volume period. We just started now. So this looks quite similar to this part over here, right? So we could be forming some kind of top, and this does have to just quickly come crashing. It happens very fast, guys. Look at this, very fast, very fast. So everything can change. I'm sure a lot of people were probably just speaking about Bitcoin maxis over here, and then it rolled over. So a lot of people have been speaking about Bitcoin and being a Bitcoin maxi, and Bitcoin is king, and Bitcoin, and told you so. And that normally, signals the potential top. So for Bitcoin dominance, a bit of a counter trade. But just remember that alt season can happen in 6 weeks, guys. 6 weeks. So definitely be prepared for this. There is an argument that because there's institutions buying Bitcoin, etc., that just do that. That and that. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, the 50%. So we could, this could come to 67%. Technically, that is the 50% level from 100%, which was obviously when Bitcoin was created. There were no altcoins. So we can come up here, but we are in the weaker half. So we are expecting, this to come down at some point. So yes, I do think there will be an altcoin season. I am positioned for an altcoin season. But I think what's going to happen now is, I think personally that a lot of people are now, smashed by altcoins, and, they wish they had Bitcoin rather. And I think that, we're going to see an altcoin pump. And I think a lot of people are going to be selling too soon. I think a lot of people will exit their altcoin positions if we do see a pump. And I think there's going to be a nice long pump, and we could get a longer bull market into the end of the year rather than just a short one. Okay, quick question. How far can Bitcoin dominance possibly come down to for a top in total 3? So this is the level I've got. I mean, it would be over here. I've obviously got that 42%, which I was speaking about earlier. 42%. So my targets for Bitcoin dominance, it depends when this Bitcoin dominance top does come in. But the first target that I would have for Bitcoin dominance would be this low over here to the top. Let's say if this is the top over there, this would be my first target for Bitcoin dominance. So we'd have to wait and see how it reacts into this level over here. So this is all macro Mondays, guys. So if we do see a breakdown, 52% is my first target, number one. And we're gonna have to see how it reacts there, guys. If we get a move down and then we just chop around here and then go up again, or are we gonna hit 52%, get it like short move up and then roll over again? I'm not too sure, but 52% is a key level. Obviously the 50%. If this does push up to higher levels, this would obviously just come up, like that. But this is, big wick. Last time we saw a wick like that was over here, and it did roll over. And how long did it take to roll over? This would be the start of altcoins obviously outperforming Bitcoin. So after that wick, we did have 18 bars. So we could see 18 bars extending, putting it into like June. Should be quite a decent little alt season, of course. And of course, no one's really expecting it now. A lot of people have been hurt. But let's wait and see how these candles close. I'd want to see a break below this level over here. This is the level that I want to see. I spoke about Bitcoin dominance earlier, but basically I want to see a push down. We fill the fair value gap and we start to see weakness. So this is the LARP lines that I'm going to leave out here, guys. My bad. This is what the altcoin bulls are looking for, guys. Something like that. It'll break down, break below the support, get below the EMA as we see the death cross, so on and so forth. Okay, guys, we have gone, pretty deep into this today. It looks like we are getting a nice push up, which we spoke about earlier. I am in that Solana long, which is starting to take off. And yeah, guys, let's wait and see how the week goes. Obviously, key news events Wednesday, Thursday, Coinbase earnings on Thursday. Definitely put that off in your calendar. But guys, thanks so much for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. And we'll see you guys later on this week. Good luck trading, guys. Cheers for now.